It saddens me to tell you that a young boy and a young man were fatally stabbed last night in Elthorne Road here in Islington. A third victim is in hospital with serious injuries that are thankfully not thought to be life-threatening.
This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I really appreciate you joining me today, and these are some updates coming from London and also stories that broke 2 days ago. The first story in the headline of this episode is the double murder that occurred in North London on Elthorne Road on Thursday the 29th of June. Condolences to the family of the two victims, and one of them has been named as 15-year-old Leonardo Reid from Islington. Police were called on Thursday to Elthorne Road to reports of a stabbing, and officers responded with the paramedics and the London Ambulance Service. The 15-year-old was found with multiple wounds, and despite the best efforts of emergency staff, he sadly was pronounced dead just after midnight. It was established that another victim, a 23-year-old man, had also suffered stab wounds and was taken to a West London hospital, where he was pronounced dead later on that evening. Police have informed the next of kin, and they are being supported by specially trained police. A special post-mortem examination took place, and both causes of death were determined to be stab wounds to the chest. A third victim, believed to be 28, was located at an address in North London, and he suffered also a stab wound and was taken to a North London hospital, where he remains in a non-life-threatening condition. Detectives from the Specialist Crime Command are leading the investigation, supported by officers from the North Command Unit. A 46-year-old man was arrested on Saturday the 1st of July on suspicion of murder and also attempted murder. He was taken to a police station but was subsequently released without any conditions or charges. Detectives investigating the double murder have made an appeal for witnesses, and Detective Jim Eastwood said, "We're the third day into the investigation and other inquiries are ongoing, but they still want to hear from anybody that was on Elthorne Road on Thursday night. Two people have sadly lost their lives and they really need to know why and how this happened." Thank you to Dave Nathan for his coverage from the scene that shows forensic officers trawling the estate and a tent erected next to a car park. A bicycle is also in the middle of the crime scene, and it is not known if this has anything to do with it. But it goes to show that when a crime scene is put up, there is nobody that can move it, and anything that is inside it, including somebody's car that has nothing to do with it, will be kept by the police until they are happy that they have ruled it out. So I'll definitely keep you updated on that story, and please pay your respects in the comments below. In some other news coming from London, 3 teenagers have been charged with the murder of a 17-year-old boy called Victor Lee. This occurred on the Grand Union towpath, Scrubs Lane, and it is believed the boy fell from the bridge after being stabbed, and 3 teenagers have now been charged with his murder and also robbery. The teenagers' ages are 14, 15 and 17 years old, and they will not be named by the papers due to the fact of their ages. They appeared at Highbury Magistrates Court on Monday the 3rd of July and were remanded in custody. Police were called at 5:45 on the 25th of June to report that a male was found in the Scrubs Lane Canal in the W10 area near Ladbroke Grove, and he was suffering stab wounds. Police and ambulance service attended, and Victor Lee was pulled from the water, and despite the best efforts of emergency services, he died at 6:09. A post-mortem examination on Wednesday the 28th of June gave the cause of death as stab wounds, and his image has been released by the police now and his family. And I just want to send my condolences to this young man. He's very young, and you can see in the image just how young he was, and so are the boys that have now been charged with his murder. And this story I covered on the channel several days ago because I thought it was really important, so I really want to hear what people have to say, and we'll definitely keep you updated after the trial, but we won't be able to speak about it again until that has been completed. And meanwhile, in the Orpington area on Wednesday the 28th of July at 23:34 p.m. in the evening, police were called to reports of a stabbing outside the hotel called the Walnuts. Police attended along with the London Ambulance Service, and 2 men, both believed to be in their teens, were found with stab wounds. The 2 were taken to hospital, and 1 man is in a critical condition and another man is believed to be in a stable condition. A crime scene remains in place, and 2 girls, both aged 17, were arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to murder and are currently in police custody. The London Ambulance Service said they attended at 11:33 p.m. to the Premier Inn in Orpington. They sent numerous resources to the scene and 2 ambulance crews, an advanced paramedic, a medic in a fast response car, an incident response officer and members of the tactical response unit. They also dispatched a trauma team with the London Air Ambulance Service, and this consisted of a paramedic, a doctor in a car, and they also treated 2 people at the scene for severe injuries, and one of them was major trauma. So thankfully nobody has passed away in this situation, but it's also touch and go, so I'll definitely keep you updated if that situation changes. But please appreciate anybody that likes the videos and supports the channel as well. It really does help to get the news out there and to make sure that everybody's getting the news that they deserve. And in some other news here in Birmingham, we've also had several different incidents occurring and violence, and this first murder that occurred, the victim has been identified as Ashley Day. Police were called to a party at an apartment in the Digbeth area, and it occurred on Bradford Street. Police have now charged a man with the murder, and 18-year-old Gavir Badal has appeared in court with murder and possession of a bladed article. He was charged on Thursday and appeared in court on Friday. The tragedy unfolded at 6 a.m. on Thursday, and the apartment was being used as a venue for the party. This was advertised on social media, and police were appealing for anybody who attended that party to forward any videos, clips or pictures that they may have taken. Ashley's family have paid tribute to him today and said that he was a well-mannered young boy and very passionate about football and excelled at Newport Football Academy. He had a great love for music, and he had just been accepted for studies at the Science in Brunel University and was very excited to start later this year. He had a big brother, and he was a protector to his mother, his younger brother, and also his family. Anyone who knew him will explain that he was a very joyous and happy person and always wanted the best for everybody. His smile was infectious and sense of humour was out of this world. They said in the statement that their hearts are bleeding and their son was a role model for so many people. Detective Inspector Jim Mahoney is leading the investigation, and he said in a statement that we are supporting Ashley's family at this awful time, and we have now charged the man with his murder, but we believe that other people have other information about what occurred that evening. So rest in peace to Ashley Day, and my condolences to his family and friends. As this episode is a roundup of news from across the country, this next story is from Skelmersdale. This is in Lancashire, and it involves the murder of a 15-year-old boy who has been described by his family as a gentle giant. He was stabbed to death in the street. His family said no amount of words will ever take his pain away. Lancashire police were called to Digmore Road in Skelmersdale at 9 p.m. on Thursday, June the 29th, to reports of the fatal fight. Officers attended the scene and found 15-year-old Dylan Bragger from Skelmersdale with serious injuries, and despite the best efforts of emergency services, he died at the scene. Dylan's devastated family have paid tribute to him and called him a gentle giant and a heart of gold. Our boy was loved by so many people, and as a family we have no words to explain how we are feeling at this heartbreaking time. Dylan had such an infectious smile and would light up a room and cheer anyone's day up. He had big bear hugs, and our boy didn't deserve to die like this. He was only 15 years old and he was already working and trying to be a car mechanic, and he had his whole life ahead of him. We have a massive hole in our heart that will never heal, and no amount of words will ever take it away. Detective Inspector Andrew Fallows of the Major Investigation Team said, "My thoughts remain with Dylan's family and friends at this time, and ultimately the devastation of his death. We now have arrested a male and aren't currently looking for anybody else in connection with his death. That being said, the investigation is still ongoing and nobody has been charged as of yet." So my condolences to Dylan's family, and definitely shows that it's affecting everybody all over the country. Knife crime is not just an inner city problem. It can happen in a village, it can happen in more upper class areas, and it can affect everybody. So this is something that I think is really important to highlight, no matter how traumatic and this can sometimes be, that people really do see the full picture from across the country. So really appreciate you joining me today for these updates. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Please don't forget to follow on social media at Scarcity Studios, and also the website at scarcitystudios.com. Peace.